Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Alan here again with Troy Life. So I've got a Fossil Sport here in-house. This is Fossil's brand new smartwatch, Wear OS watch. It's their first to run the Qualcomm Snapdragon 3100 platform. It's also the most affordable running a 3100 platform. So we figured we'd pick one up, and actually we weren't initially going to, but a bunch of you kind of reached out and said, look, you're going to review this, right? So yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and review it. So this is just going to be a quick unboxing and first impressions here of the Fossil Sport. To recap a little bit, this watch, well, you can see it's part of their Fossil Q series, but it's the Sport touchscreen smartwatch. It's called the Fossil Sport. Runs Wear OS. There's the watch here. So the big deal with this guy is, as I mentioned, it does run the Qualcomm Snapdragon 3100, so that's a big deal. It's the first one also, but it costs $255. So the previous first watch, while I'm actually wearing it, this is the Mont Blanc Summit 2. This thing costs $1,000, and it runs the 3100, but again, it costs $1,000. So this thing is $255, and it's probably the first of many that will run this, but this is going to be the most affordable. What's cool about it, though, is the size is great. 41 millimeter or 43 millimeter. You have a couple of size options. There's a whole bunch of different finishes too. This is sort of the black model or really dark charcoaly model with a black band. I'll show you that here in a second. But there's like a blue one and a red one, and there may be green and yellow. I'm not really sure. There's a whole bunch of different colors though, which makes this kind of cool. And then the bands, the 41 millimeter has 18 millimeter bands. This is the 43 millimeter model, and these are 22 millimeter bands. And they're just sort of hot swappable, so you can really customize. So again, $255. You do have actually, before we get in there, let me see if there's anything else in here. No, it doesn't really look like it. Where's the charger? Oh, there's the charger. So here is the charger. I will point out that this does apparently do some sort of fast charging. You get 80% battery in about an hour. That doesn't seem that fast to me, but that's what they're calling it, is fast charging. So anyway, the watch. The big deal here is not only the 3100, but the fact that it's affordable and that it's customizable, and it's supposed to be one of the lightest watches ever. You can really customize it to your liking. It also just kind of looks nice. I mean, so this is the black one, and this really does feel like about the lightest smartwatch I've ever held. So you've got 3 pushers on the side, a top, bottom, flanking a crown, and it does rotate, and I will get in there in a second and play with it to see if that actually does use the UI like it does here on this watch. So it does have heart rate sensor, so we'll take that sticker off. Has heart rate sensor, also has NFC, and a built-in GPS. So I believe the case is only 12 millimeters thick, which isn't super duper thick. Actually kind of a nice size. But it has all the stuff: GPS, heart rate, NFC. So you can do Android Pay. You can take it for a run without needing your phone tethered. It'll take your heart rate. Kind of crazy. There are those bands that you can you just sort of pull this pin to the side, and then they snap. Let's see if I can get that back on there. There we go. So you can buy those separately from Fossil side. You can also just go buy any 22 millimeter band, and it should fit on there. There are plenty of those out there. Yeah, this is kind of a big deal. Let's fire it up. So I think I just do this, and hopefully that will turn it on. 1.2 millimeter display. I believe it's the same size display on both watches, and I may have to actually plug it in order to turn it on. Sure enough, it did need me to give it a little bit of juice and then fire it up. So up and running. This is the watch. Oh, before I could go too far, I mentioned that the crown rotates, and I was going to show you if it actually does and work and let you navigate. And it does. See, rotate up and down. You can get the notification or the setting shade down, rotate through notifications, that sort of thing. So that is a rotating crown, just like on the $1,000 Mont Blanc, but this is a $255 watch. So one other thing I want to show you before we go any further, though, is again, the case is 43 millimeters. The display, I believe, is 1.2 inches. And some of you had mentioned in our comments that you were worried about this excessive black bezel. So I will show you there is indeed. So if we go with a lighter watch face here, and that fires up, you can see now there is a you've got your case, and then there is a black sort of inset, and then the display. So there's a little bit of bezel. I'm just staring at it right now, face to face, and it's not driving me nuts. I know some of you were a little worried about that, but there you go. That's what it looks like. So in terms of just the watch, it's a Fossil watch with a fitness focus, has all of those fitness things I mentioned, GPS and heart rate sensor. It's got the pushers. It's got kind of I don't want to say a cheap build. It doesn't feel quite as premium as this, but again, this is a $1,000 watch. But it doesn't feel bad. It feels really light. It might be nice to wear for extended periods of time. Going for a run or doing a workout, it certainly wouldn't get in your way or weigh you down. It's not that thick. Pretty nice little watch, actually. I'm excited to begin testing. I'm not really sure what else you guys want to see. If we dive in here, of course, it has Google Play Store, and I mentioned it has NFC, so there's Google Pay. But we can dive in and look at some more watch faces. There's clearly a whole bunch of sporty style ones, but there's some other ones as well. But Google Fit integration built in, so Google Fit's there. And they actually have a whole bunch of also sort of Google Fit styled watch faces, so not just the normal Google Fit one, but some fun ones. There's robots, and here's a Sport Digital and a Sport 3-hand, so plenty of sporty stuff going on. Here's the Google Fit one. In terms of navigating the UI, it does run that newest version of Wear OS. So you swipe this way, and that gets you over to Google Assistant. Swipe down, that gets you into your notifications, or again, you can spin that rotating crown. Swipe down gets you into those quick settings and shows your battery, or again, you can rotate that down. And if we swipe this way, it gets you into what is Google Fit. So if we click the button, it gets you into your app drawer, so you can check out apps. And doesn't seem like Fossil's put anything else on here. Now, the Mont Blanc, they certainly put a bunch of their own stuff on here. You do have a Fossil Q app, but that might be about it. Even Huawei puts a bunch of their own apps on here, whereas Fossil doesn't seem to be wanting to do that. Let's go ahead and put it on wrist so you can see exactly what this looks like. There it is now on wrist. Again, this is 43 millimeter size. There's a 41 millimeter as well. Really, really nice size, actually. I don't typically wear watches on my right arm, but it does fit nicely there. You can see it doesn't wear too proud. It's not too thick. Nice size. Black obviously goes with everything, but there are some fun colors and stuff. I'll probably throw a colored band on there. And this is the 22 millimeter band. It is a really, really light watch. Pretty comfortable to wear. I mean, I've only had it on for a minute, but it's just because it's so light and this silicone strap is really, really, really soft that you don't really notice that it's on there. You can compare that to, I'll show you it next to here, the Mont Blanc. So the Mont Blanc watch is quite a bit, well, it's about the same size, I believe 42 millimeter case. But you can see this angle, the Mont Blanc is quite a bit thicker. So the Fossil Sport is a thin watch, and I'm actually looking forward to that. This Mont Blanc that I've been wearing is kind of a thick dude. So nice size there. So I'm actually going to put that down. I also have a Huawei Watch 2 Classic in-house. It's the watch that I typically wear most. When I'm not wearing that Mont Blanc, I'm wearing this guy. This is my favorite Wear OS watch. So also, I believe it's about 43 millimeter, maybe 44 millimeter case. You can see the difference there. This obviously doesn't run Snapdragon Wear 3100. And then also there, a little bit thicker as well. So this Fossil Sport is quite the small, nicely sized watch. So we'll test battery life. Also says about a day. It has watch mode, which comes with 3100, so it can last longer if you're running out of battery and that sort of thing. I'm not really a fan of that feature, but it is there. I am curious because of the size how long this thing might last. So anyway, back to, well, I should say time to get to testing. If you guys have comments, questions, or anything in particular you want us to look at with this, let us know. Otherwise, we're Droid Life. Peace.